your character is a famous actor from a series of fantasy films like dragon films and stuff. I was curious, what are some of your all-time favorite fantasy films or TV series, and how cool is it to actually play an actor who's playing an actor inside a film?
I would say like the Lord of the Rings series and The Hobbit, especially The Hobbit because of the dragon of it all and Benedict Cumberbatch. I loved his performance in that. Yeah, and it was really cool to be put on all of the gear and be the knight in shining armor that saves the day type of thing. And yeah, it was so kind of like fulfilling of that childish kind of want to play the guy that saves the day. So yeah, it was super fun, super fun.
Finding You was mostly, I understand, filmed in Ireland, so which by the way looks gorgeous on film. How was the experience of filming there, and does this setting actually help your performance in any way when you actually get to shoot there?
Ireland, a lot of people say, is like another character in the film, and it very much is. With the scenery is so beautiful and so green and luscious, and the people there are so kind, and I think that that really bleeds through onto the screen in this film.
Your new film explores the whole famous actor trying to hide a bit from fame and live a normal life if he can. So what do you think audiences throughout the years have always loved to see this concept in films, and how does this film explore this through your character?
I think a lot of people just have a fascination with it because it's not like, a lot of my friends from my hometown and people from my hometown are just so curious, like what my day to day is like at work and stuff like that, what it's like to be an actor, because they just don't know. Right. So I think that has a lot to do with the fascination. It's a job that not a lot of people are familiar with or as familiar with as other jobs. Beckett is a very famous and like well-known actor. And his series of films have done very well. So he's like Harry Styles level type of thing. It can be overwhelming, I'm sure. Like, I don't know personally. I've never really gone through too much of the fame of it all. You know what I mean? From what I can imagine, it'd be tough to not be able to go out to breakfast somewhere or walk down the street without, getting asked for a picture or autographs or something like that. But I don't know.
So in the film you play, your character plays the violin. So I'm curious, did you actually know how to play this instrument?
Yes, I know now. I did not know prior to starting this film, but we spent countless hours learning, and yes, I know now. I think music is such an integrated part of Finley's character that it was so important to really understand music, understand the violin, understand the little intricacies of it for the character to really feel well-rounded. So it was invaluable to be able to learn from great musicians and to hear fiddlers and listen to buskers in Ireland and be able to kind of draw influence from that for Finley's character.
Well, that's awesome. You guys film mostly in Ireland, so how was this experience of filming there, which looks beautiful, by the way? And how does filming in location there actually help you flesh out your characters and improve your performance at the end of the day?
That impacted my development of Finley so much, because as soon as I got there, I thought to myself, how the second Finley sets down in this country does she not immediately just be overwhelmed by the adventure of it? And I think that's what's so amazing, is that I was able to draw from that, and through Brian, the director's help, of course, he was absolutely influential in helping to develop Finley's character. But that was one of the biggest things, is that Ireland does kind of draw out this childlike character in you. And I think that's what you see happen with Finley the second she touches down in the country.
That's awesome. What do you think audiences have always loved this whole, famous person falls for the girl next door dynamic and story? Why do you think audiences love this concept? And how does this film explore that concept?
Every girl hopes that someone important and famous and charming is going to fall for them. And so I think this kind of, falls into that category. But it also, Beckett isn't just fame. He's such a vibrant character with so many different dimensions and layers that it makes them really hard not to fall in love with. I think I would love for audiences to walk away maybe imagining that could happen to them someday. You know, if it happened to Finley, it could happen to them.
Okay, Brian, you've now worked on The World We Make and Finding You. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of your all-time favorite romantic dramas, and how do you think the genre has fared these last couple of decades compared to other genres?
Well, I guess, yeah, some of the all-time, I mean, some of the John Hughes stuff from my childhood, of course, and then more recently, I'm always a big fan of the Cameron Crowe, you know, Jerry Maguire and Singles.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's definitely an inspiration for sure. Just how he mixes everything together, and you can't define those films very easily. And so that's very very aspirational for me.
As a director, how important is it to shoot in location, especially when the film is basically a main character of the film, since you rely on it for most of the culture, the history, and the people?
Yeah, I mean, it's a real joy. It's an incredible honor to experience a country and the people in that country by working there and by shooting there. And one of the main hopes of the film was to be able to introduce the audience to the country just like the main character is being introduced to it. So that was part of the real highlights of the film, and one of the reasons why we wanted to make it, and was 100% something we wanted to take care of.
We all know that romantic dramas need good leads, you know. So can you talk to me a little bit of your leads, Rose and Jedidiah, and their chemistry, and getting them to work and star in your film?
Yeah. I mean, we, you know, Rose I knew previously from the previous film, and so that was great to get to work with her again. And then, yeah, we looked at a whole number of really talented actors for the lead role, and Jed just rose to the surface in terms of his energy and his vibrancy. And so that was something I was really looking for, is that like an unpredictable nature and a big heart for that character, so that where Finley's character would be more stable, his would be more up and down, and you never quite know what he would do. And that provides some excitement for the film. So yeah, it was really cool to see that come together.